Hello and welcome to this week's Pots and Trowels gardening video. We're going to start by trimming the box to get it in shape for the winter. We're going to go into the vegetable garden to lift the onions and I'll show you how to dry them to store them. I've got a great tip on how you can have fresh mint all the way through the autumn in the house, and then we're going to end with some glorious dahlias and I'll show you how to keep them flowering for many more weeks. Box makes a great structural plant in the garden. You can plant it in the borders or you can grow it in containers like this, all different shapes as well. And we've been trimming these through the summer, but it's now ready for its final trim. And this is about the last time we would trim it. You know, we're in now to the second week in September, so we don't want to be trimming it too late. We need to give it time to toughen up before the winter. Various ways you can do it. You can be very traditional if you want to and use the old sheep shearers, and that's fine if you've only got a little bit of box to trim, but I'm not going to bother with those on this. You could use shears and you get a really nice neat finish with shears. A bit time consuming, but you can be creative if you've got topiary shapes. But for this one I'm going to use a hedge trimmer, and this is just a battery powered hedge trimmer, so just need to switch it on and this will give a really neat finish. There, that looks better. It looks more like a pyramid now instead of just a blob of foliage. You'll also notice I've got some dust sheets down on the floor just to catch the clippings. It just makes it much easier for tidying up afterwards. And that's it basically now. It doesn't need any more attention through the winter. The next time this will get a trim will be next June. Onions are a really good crop to grow in your vegetable garden because you can use them right the way through the winter, and there are so many dishes of course that onions are used in. I always allow mine to grow for as long as they want to in the garden, so it's usually September before I even think about lifting them, because while ever the tops are green and growing, they're feeding the bulb and increasing the size of the bulb. But once you get to late summer, the tops naturally flop over, and that signals that we now need to get those onions out and get them dried off. So all we do is literally pull them out of the ground. We can see the soil is stuck to them, so it's to scrape off the soil so that will then allow air to the bulb and dry it out. And I like to then put them on some sort of a wire rack because we need really good air circulation around them, because what is vital in order for these bulbs to store right the way over winter is that we make sure that the bulbs are ripe. So I need the sun to get to them so that these go a lovely golden colour and ripen thoroughly all the way through. So I'll lift all of these, put them on racks, leave them outside in the sunshine. If the weather's not very good, of course, what you can do is put them in a shed or a garage somewhere nice and dry and airy. And these are going to take several weeks to die down, and only once the green has all gone brown and crispy can we store them for winter use. So we'll look at that another time and I'll show you how to put them into a plat. So worth getting the onions up now. And one last thing while we're in the vegetable garden is mint. It's a perennial, so it dies down in the autumn, and by this time of the year my pot mints are starting to look a little bit straggly. We've been picking off them all through the summer. But if you want one last attempt at getting some fresh mint through the autumn, you can take cuttings now, and it's really easy. You need a small pot of compost. You need to take some very short cuttings, and these are so simple to take. I'm literally just taking a shoot off there. I'm taking off the lower leaves, trimming it below a leaf, make a little hole with your finger in the compost and just dib a few cuttings around the edge of the pot. And if you put about 4 or 5 cuttings around the edge of that pot and then give it a drink of water to get it nice and moist, pop that onto your kitchen windowsill and keep them somewhere shady, not in a sunny position. Literally within a couple of weeks they will have rooted and you'll get lovely bushy mint plants that you can use right the way through October and November, fresh from your garden. One of my favourite flowers at this time of the year is the dahlia, and they come in all different shapes and sizes. And it reminds me of when I was an apprentice gardener 40 odd years ago. We used to grow them on the Parks Department for the Mayor's Parlour, and I still grow a few in the garden just for cut flowers for the house. And you can get them in flower, of course, from August right the way through into the autumn. And there's some beautiful varieties like this beautiful apricot coloured one. This is what we call a cactus type dahlia. But what you need to do to keep them flowering is to make sure you either pick them on a really regular basis and enjoy them indoors, or to deadhead them. And this is a really old variety called Edinburgh. And to keep them flowering, what we need to do is remove any dead heads like this one here. And we can see all the petals are falling off, so just take it down, cut the stem, that goes on the compost heap, and that will then ensure that these lovely new buds above it will develop and bloom. And as long as the weather stays fairly mild and we keep them well watered in dry weather, which we often get at this time of the year, there's no reason why your dahlias shouldn't carry on well into October or until we get the first autumn frosts. So thank you for watching the video, and I hope you've found it useful this week. We'll of course be back next week, but we'd also like to thank Cobra, who have supported these videos. And if you do enjoy them, please share them with your friends, and we'll see you soon.